Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Crypto. My name's Don. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching today's stream. A little bit later than normal, but hopefully you still have a coffee or at least a drink in hand ready to catch up with the news because, well, a lot has happened the past 24 hours in crypto. And, well, I guess I told you so. You'll see from the title of today's video, I told you so. And let me get into that, plus more in today's episode. So yeah, sit back, relax, and there's plenty to get through as always. Now, I do also have some exciting news to break from Coffee and Crypto, but I'll get to that a little bit later on. Let me kind of ease into that news as we progress. Now, first of all, let's refresh and look at the top 10 crypto, how we've performed the past 24 hours, because, well, it's not looking good, bruv, as we like to say on this channel. But Bitcoin, starting with Bitcoin then, it's currently sitting at just above 26,000. We did see quite a drop last night. Ethereum at $1,644. We then have BNB at $214. XRP is currently sitting at 50 cents. Cardano at 25 cents. Dogecoin at 0.06, and then Solana at $19. Finally, in 10th place, I nearly said in Tron place, which wouldn't make sense, but in 10th place we have Tron at 0.07. Now, like I said, most of the market is it's down a little bit. We're down almost 5% across the board. However, we have seen a slight recovery from, well, last night's drop, shall we say, which did come out after the news breaking from the kind of SEC stuff that, again, I have been telling you about. But anyway, I'm going to get into that in just a sec. I wanted to show you the actual charts, which is not all that great at the moment, but I suppose you get the idea. We were up 27k. We had an enormous candle, 3 days ago, where it was like a $1,500 candle, which was great. And then we are straight back down again, back to, well, where we started, if not lower than what we started before the massive pump. So yeah, good old crypto. It tends to kind of get you in the feels quite often, and well, look, we love it, don't we? But anyway, like I said, that's the top 10 at the moment. Prices have come down quite a bit, but it's September. It's the first of the month. Happy September. Is the month of September the month that we have been waiting for? Not so sure about that. I think we might still see a bit of an upset throughout the month until we really get into quarter 4, and fingers crossed we then actually see some juiciness return to the market. And don't get me wrong, people, including myself, as an investor, do quite enjoy the prices being a bit, well, rubbish, shall we say, purely for the fact that I would love to earn more money to then put it into crypto while the prices are like this, than trying to invest in crypto when prices are higher. I never feel like I've got enough invested, therefore I always want more and more and more. But how do you do that? Well, you need to earn a bit more money, and well, you know, I'm working on it. Anyway, we've got a few news articles to cover off, which aren't as important as the big news I want you all to stay around. Why do I look like that on camera? Can you see how ugly I am in that small little camera on your screen? Anyway, let's move on away from how I look today. But yeah, there's big news coming near the end of today's video, but I want to get through a few subjects that I have touched on this week, just to kind of keep you up to date with them. So, first one being Ronaldinho. Remember I'd spoke about Ronaldinho? Well, Ronaldinho denies part in the alleged $61 million crypto scam at a hearing. So again, I'll touch on this lightly because I do believe it is, I guess it's quite interesting, but I specifically put this news out for a good friend and good follower of Crypto Glasgow, a big supporter of the channel. So I covered this specifically for this person. So I want to just touch base and make sure that we're keeping them okay, keeping them safe from what Ronaldinho is up to. So anyway, again, I spoke about this. Ronaldinho apparently was part of a scam with his NFT thing called 18K Ronaldinho. Don't know if any of you've heard of it, but they promised 2% daily returns, and a lawsuit was then kind of put on them, seeking $61 million in damages. Now, again, I'm going to, like I said, touch on this, but Ronaldinho has been at a hearing and he has denied it. But it says here then, the Enquiries president asked Ronaldinho if he intended to reimburse those who invested in the company, to which Ronaldinho said he would remain silent. He also did not answer when asked about the $61 million lawsuit. Ronaldinho apparently failed to appear twice to previous hearings related to the inquiry, and most recently he said that weather conditions meant that he was not able to attend. I think Ronaldinho knows it's a load of fugazi, it's nonsense. He knows that, well, maybe he doesn't know, but maybe he thinks that he can get away with this scam. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have really any opinion on it. But like I said, I wanted just to keep you up to date with what was going on. But Ronaldinho has been questioned on it. Here's the kind of screenshot from what was, I guess, the marketing campaign or something back then. Well, this says it was in August. Maybe he was just questioned on it in general. He's looking over at it pretty kind of embarrassed, I would imagine. Look at that. He's thinking, I messed up. Anyway, like I said, it's not big news, but I wanted to cover on it and start with that so we get it out of the way and get onto some more juicier crypto news because, well, this article is an interesting one. Again, it's something that I mentioned a few weeks ago, but the article, for anyone that's not watching and is listening, it says UK's travel rule comes into effect and it could halt certain crypto transfers. Now, is this fear? Well, let's have a look because it says there, the crypto travel rule, which came into effect September 1st, which is today, aims to stop money laundering and terrorist financing activities carried out on-chain. That's hilarious. But anyway, let me read into this, and I'm sure I will give you my opinion on this. It's why you're all here. It's why you tune in. So, crypto asset businesses in the UK could now begin withholding certain crypto transfers to comply with the new travel rule for crypto that came into effect today. The rules targeting virtual asset services providers, first introduced by the FCA in August 17th, requires that VASPs based in the UK collect and verify and share information relating to crypto asset transfers. Now, this kind of goes against the whole point of crypto, so I'm not too sure how much they can actually, rule it. But anyway, if an inbound payment is received from a person or entity overseas, from an overseas jurisdiction that hasn't implemented the travel rule, the VASP must make a risk-based assessment as to whether to make crypto assets available to the beneficiary. Okay, so the same rule would be applied to Brits looking to send payments out of the UK. The travel rule was created by the UN Agency Financial Action Task Force in June 2019. The UK passed legislation to begin enforcing the travel rule in July 2022. I don't know why I said that, so strange. It attempts to enforce anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing rules on activities carried out on-chain. Now, other countries that have adopted the travel rule include the US, Germany, Japan, Singapore, Switzerland, Canada, South Africa, the Netherlands, Estonia, quite a lot, which again kind of fills me with a little bit of confidence because all of these countries have already implemented it, but there's been absolutely no change to, well, anything. But anyway, it's news, so I'm covering it. On June 23rd, the FATF called out member states for failing to sufficiently implement the rule, after a survey revealed that more than half of them have failed to take any action towards implementing the rule. Well, obviously, because it's fugazi. Come on. Like, the whole point of this, like it says here, it attempts to enforce anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing. So, hang on a minute. Let's just look. In fact, you know what? I don't really want to go off in one here, but let me just mention a few things because it's factually correct. I'm not exactly tinfoil hat, just putting things out there. This is like factually correct information. What about America? Right, I'm going to try and tread quite carefully here. But what about the US funding wars, funding terrorism? Again, don't hold me to that. I'm just quoting what I've read online. However, America funding Ukraine, funding the wars in Iraq, Afghanistan. Again, don't take it from me. I don't want to go down that route. But from the things that I have read, I'm pretty sure that cash and bank transfers in the US is used to help money laundering. Obviously, we know that. HSBC famously done it. In fact, it's a good point before I touch on anything else. HSBC, go watch the documentary on Netflix. It's called Dirty Money, and it's on HSBC money laundering for the Mexican drug cartels. Go check that out. Very, very interesting. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here, right, is the whole travel ban on crypto and sending crypto abroad and to certain countries and stuff hasn't affected anyone else. so don't worry about it so much in the UK. I need to make you aware of it, of course. That's my job. And I'm not advising that you send money. I'm obviously saying stick to the rules. However, over 50% of people haven't implemented the rule. And they're trying to say it's to stop this thing that I've highlighted, the anti-money laundering and terrorist. However, we all know that's not what crypto is used for. It's been proven, but they like to try and use that narrative and push it. But anyway, that's all I wanted to cover on that point. Now, again, I won't kind of read much more into it, but the point, I guess, to make is there's a new rule put in place from the FCA. If you want to read the article, you can go check out the FCA's official X page and read the article in detail. I suggest that you do that to make sure that you comply with the rules. However, other countries have not really complied with the rules, and it hasn't stopped payments moving because, well, crypto, as we know it, is a blockchain. It's a public ledger. It's not controlled by any one entity, especially a government. So yeah, that's why I think it will be quite hard for this exact rule to, I guess, come into play, or at least be managed as such. But anyway, like I said, go read it in full detail. I suggest that you stick to the rules and you do what you're told. Moving on to the next part of today's video. I feel like that's triggered me a little bit. I'm going to need to try and calm down a little bit here. But next point then. So this is kind of the news I wanted to cover. The part I told you so that I've put in the title. The kind of part I've been talking about the past few weeks where, well, Bitcoin traders wipe grayscale gains after SEC delays the spot ETF decisions. Now, I did mention this just 2 days ago, but let me jump into this in a bit more detail. So, in less than a day, Bitcoin has shed nearly all the gains it made from the grayscale investment court victory against the US SEC. Now, do you think this was planned? It's a very interesting time. Now, on the August 29th then, Bitcoin popped up to a 2-week high after a judge ruled that Securities and Exchange Commission was arbitrary and capricious, is that the word? When it rejected Grayscale's spot Bitcoin ETF application. Now, on the 31st of August, which was just yesterday, the decision to delay, remember I told you that? They will, or maybe I said postpone, same thing, but they have delayed all 7 of the ETFs. Now, that's the spot Bitcoin ETFs, and well, the price then came down after that. Well, did it come down because of the charts told it to come down, or did it come down because of fear? Anyway, we'll move on. Falling nearly 5% in 24 hours. Now, it showed that Bitcoin's price was around 26,000, falling steeply from around 27,300 level that it managed to get up to with the Grayscale news just 2 days prior. The spot Bitcoin ETF applications from BlackRock, WisdomTree, VanEck, Bitwise, Valkyrie, and Fidelity, along with joint funded application Invesco and Galaxy, were all delayed by the SEC. Now, the price decline comes even though some experts, including this guy at Bloomberg, he said that they expected the delays to take place. Now, I also told you many times that, especially I think Deck went on to tell us a few times on even an XRP stream and a lot on the members live streams. If you you haven't already taken part in our members Discord, there are members live streams for Alpha every single Monday, which are not just focused on crypto, they're focused on a lot of other investments. So I highly suggest you go check that out if you haven't. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is I've been making this point where they most definitely will delay this. I strongly believe, my humble opinion, personal opinion, is that they'll hold off until February, March of 2024 before they really give a yes or a no for the ETFs, and they will continue to delay it until then. And well, I think that's unfortunate because a lot of people in crypto, again, people that I don't believe spend enough time learning about these things, were hoping that it would get approved for some bizarre reason. The fact that the SEC lost their lawsuit against Grayscale kind of 2 days before that the ETF hearings were going to come out, to me, that looks like a play. Like they knew they were going to lose it on that date or whatever it was, but they knew that 2 days later, they were going to just deny the ETFs and crash the price anyway. Because that's what the SEC can do, remember? They can manipulate the price when they want to. Anyway, it's a game. It is a big game. And I guess the more time you spend in crypto, the more things you read about crypto, and again, it's why I ask you to tune into Coffee and Crypto every single morning. The more you surround yourself with the news, and I kind of give you the background and my opinion and my experience, the more you start to see that it is a bit of a sitcom. It is this big show. It doesn't feel like real life sometimes, and almost a lot of it is too good to be true, and I told you so moments. So yeah, like I said, hopefully you're starting to kind of get that as you spend more time with me in the morning as I make these videos. But anyway, the big news being that the SEC have delayed the ETFs, as I said they would. And yeah, it's caused a bit of an upset with the prices, which again, obviously. Again, here we go again, just kind of further. SEC delays decision on 6. I think it was actually 7, but I think one came out after this. I think the BlackRock one wasn't on this article or something. That's why I'd opened it up, but I covered the other one. But basically, the fact of the matter is, if you're wondering why the prices have went down and why the sentiment has went down and why just crypto has just been a bit boring the past 24 hours, well, depends the way you look at it. If you're a buyer in this market, it's a fantastic time because prices are lower than what they were 2 days ago. But if you are a total pro-bull, pro-Bitcoiner, then maybe you're not so happy. All right. But anyway, the big news from today is that the SEC have postponed the ETFs much like we thought they would. All right. That's the big news. Not much more to come out from that. Next up. This is something I wanted to show you. I'm not going to go through the whole thing in detail because there's a lot. But what I do want to say is, if this will load, here we go. Okay, we're still waiting for it to load. And we're still waiting. And we're still waiting. There we go. Apparently this Wi-Fi in the office has now been upgraded to the top tier. But yeah, clearly not. Anyway, pause today's video. Screenshot today's video and look at this and save it if you want. But this is, again, you can see it here, it says Bitcoin's returns broken down by months. September has had the least number of positive returning months at just 2 and is a 6-year negative returning streak. So that's why the title of today's video includes Is September the Month for Crypto? And I said at the start of this video, I don't really think it might be. I think we might have to hold off until October before we start to see a bit more green return to the market, which, again, as you can see, if you're looking at today's screen, looking at your screen today and not listening to this as a podcast type of kind of vibe, you'll see September is pretty much red every year, year on year on year. But October is fairly green. November, fairly green. December, bit of a mixed bag, but overall I would say probably more so green. So yeah, it's why we kind of focus a lot, and if you followed us for a long time, you'll know that we've always focused quite a lot on Q4, and it's purely just based off stuff like this. So this is an amazing kind of document, so shout out to Will Clemente. I know you're not watching this video, but shout out to him for this, because don't get me wrong, it's from CoinGlass, it's not anything that he's prepared, it's factual information you can get. But the point of the matter is, look at the last 3 months of the year. We focus a lot on this, we say a lot. Summers are not great in crypto. You've just experienced that. They were only great, I mean, don't get me wrong, July isn't too bad, but kind of August, September, can you call that summer? Normally are not great times in crypto. You've experienced it now, so you know what I'm talking about. But October, November, December, it does normally, based on history, start to look up quite a bit. And yeah, I'm here for it. I'm excited. I'm, again, as I mentioned a few kind of minutes ago, I'm trying to get more money into crypto as much as I can, because I know what to expect over the next few months. And well, we obviously know what's happening in 2024, which I am personally very, very bullish on. That is the Bitcoin halving, and well, all the ETF news as well. So there's a lot of, in my opinion, positive things happening in 2024, especially early on. So, sorry, I should have let that hiccup happen without trying to continue. Apologies for anyone listening to this with headphones on. But it's the reason why I am looking forward to the start of 2024 and kind of throughout the year. especially back into quarter four of 2024 as well. So we'll have in my opinion, a good end to this year, a good start to next year. Maybe a bit of a slow summer, but then a massive, again, hopeful kind of great quarter four of 2024. So yeah, look, crypto is, I would say the worst is behind us. Hopefully I can be confident in saying that. In terms of prices, I think the worst is behind us, well, after September, and it is really going to start pick up very, very soon. And it's why, for anyone that kind of follows us quite closely on Instagram or in Discord or Twitter, whatever it may be, you'll know that we talk about our Ultimate Crypto Fast Track course. We have one last kind of hurrah, shall we say, in November. And the reason we're doing it then is, well, we've done one in June, done one in July when the prices weren't as good. There's a point behind that. It's so that when October, November, December comes around, you're already prepped, you've learned everything, you've had your portfolio management set up, you know exactly where you need to be ahead of the market movements, rather than trying to maneuver the market while it's happening, because that's, again, counterproductive. It does not make sense. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. The point of the last course, we've moved it into November for timing for everyone, to give everyone enough time to kind of plan for it. And yeah, if you are interested in that, by the way, I think there's a few slots still available at the time of this video. I can't guarantee that. But anyway, the point of the matter is quarter four, it's looking good. Look at this chart on your screen. It's hopefully going to replicate exactly what it's done. Now, don't get me wrong, we've had a few red months the past few years, 2019, what's that one, 2018 that is, sorry, 2019, and then a bit in 2022, and, well, that doesn't make sense, 2023, oh, sorry, I'm all over the place. So yeah, 2022 was the bear market. November 2022 is when we started to see the kind of fall in Bitcoin. That's why it's red. So overall, it wasn't a great month, but that's when the all-time high was, if you get me. So anyway, hopefully following along. But nonetheless, we are hopefully now going to see, we've had two red, what normally happens, again, just based on this chart, we see two red years in November, a green year. We've just seen two red years in November. We're now at, well, a month or so away from another November. Based on how this chart is, or how this works, it's going to be green, in my opinion. Can't guarantee anything, of course. But anyway, I spent quite a lot of time on this exact slide. But hopefully you've followed along. Hopefully you make sense of what I'm trying to make sense of, and you understand the point I'm trying to make. All right. And last but not least, this is how a lot of people will be feeling at the moment with the price of Bitcoin. Because, well, yeah, the grayscale pump that we seen 2 days ago, when we pumped $1,700, whatever it was, now we're back down, lower than what we were. And I feel like this is probably most people. Yeah, pretty funny. I thought I'd finish off in a bit of a meme to lighten the mood for this fine Friday morning, almost the afternoon. It is still the morning. But yeah, that's all for today's video. I said I did have some big news to share from the channel. I'm actually going to announce that on Monday. And the reason for that is I'm going to try and plan a little bit of an upgrade to Coffee and Crypto. So make sure you stay tuned for that upgrade. I have been playing about a little bit this week, but I've not quite mastered the upgrade that I want to make. So yeah, stick around. Make sure you tune in to Monday's Coffee and Crypto episode, because it will be a big one. I have an announcement to make. I also have a few upgrades to show you to the video, which I'm sure you will love. And yeah, it's just a little bit of kind of FOMO. Make sure you're there. Set a reminder that you tune in live on Monday. I'll be live for about 9 a.m. That's the plan. Maybe earlier if I can get out my bed earlier. But anyway, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found value. There was loads of value. And yeah, happy September. It's potentially not looking good, bruv, this month for the prices. I can't guarantee that. But make sure if you are investing in crypto, you do your own research. You know that it could go to zero. There's a lot of things that can happen and go wrong in crypto. Make sure you read today's disclaimer in the description. It'll help you kind of just set your mind right and what your expectations are from crypto. But anyway, Anything else that you need from myself or anyone on the team, of course, you can join us in Discord. We're in there actively each day, so feel free to join and we can chat and help you out. But if there's anything else you do need from us today, whether that's a SwissBorg account or whatever it may be, check out today's description. SwissBorg is my preferred platform and it's what I use for my crypto investing. So yeah, go check it out. Anything else, I will see you on Monday for the upgrades to coffee and crypto. I'm excited, you should be too. Anyway, have a great weekend. If I don't speak to you until then,